Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. Simon approaches his professor for advice on improving his English grammar. He expresses his struggles with understanding sentence structures, parts of speech, and tenses. Throughout their conversation, the professor provides practical techniques and strategies, including breaking down sentences, using color coding, creating timelines for tenses, and incorporating grammar exercises into hobbies. Simon seeks guidance on avoiding common mistakes, mastering punctuation, improving grammar and speaking, and utilizing grammar books. They also discuss methods for self-correction, building a strong foundation, and the role of vocabulary in enhancing grammar skills. The professor emphasizes the importance of balancing writing and speaking, combining different learning methods, and leveraging technology for grammar practice.
Hi, Professor, I've been struggling with English grammar lately. Could you provide some techniques and skills to improve it?
Of course, Simon. Improving grammar involves understanding the rules and practicing consistently. Have you tried breaking down sentences to understand their structure?
I've tried, but I often get confused with the parts of speech and their functions in sentences. How should I approach this?
Start with the basics. Focus on identifying the subject, verb, and object in simple sentences. Once you are comfortable with these, gradually move to more complex structures. It's essential to recognize patterns in sentence construction. For example, understand how adjectives and adverbs modify nouns and verbs, respectively. Have you considered using color coding to differentiate parts of speech?
Color coding sounds like a good idea. It might help me visualize the sentence components better. I also have trouble with tenses. How can I master them?
Tenses can indeed be tricky. I recommend creating a timeline of events to visualize when actions occur. Practice by writing sentences in different tenses and comparing them. Reading extensively can also help you see how tenses are used in context. Additionally, you could try translating sentences from your native language into English to reinforce your understanding of tense usage. Have you ever used verb conjugation charts?
No, I haven't used conjugation charts. How do they work?
Conjugation charts list the various forms of a verb in different tenses and aspects. They can help you see patterns and irregularities in verb forms. By practicing with these charts, you'll become more familiar with the correct verb forms. Start with regular verbs and then move on to irregular ones. Pair this with exercises that involve filling in the blanks with the correct tense. It can be very effective.
I see. Is there a way to make learning grammar more engaging?
Certainly. Try incorporating grammar exercises into your hobbies. For instance, if you enjoy writing stories, focus on using varied sentence structures and tenses. You can also play grammar games or use apps designed for grammar practice. The key is to make it fun and relevant to your interests. Another engaging method is to join online forums or discussion groups where you can write and receive feedback on your grammar in real time.
That's a great idea. What about common grammar mistakes? How can I avoid them?
Common mistakes often arise from misunderstanding or overlooking rules. Keep a list of errors you frequently make and review them regularly. Tools like grammar checkers can provide immediate feedback, but it's crucial to understand why something is incorrect. Discussing your mistakes with a peer or tutor can offer new insights and help reinforce correct usage. Additionally, reading your writing aloud can help you catch mistakes you might miss when reading silently.
I'll start keeping a list of my mistakes. One more thing, how can I improve my understanding of punctuation?
Punctuation is vital for clarity. Begin by learning the rules for each punctuation mark and practice using them in different contexts. Reading aloud can help you hear natural pauses and understand where punctuation should be placed. Writing exercises, like punctuating unpunctuated text, can also be beneficial. You might also find it helpful to analyze well-written texts and pay attention to how punctuation is used effectively.
That's helpful. Sometimes, I struggle with knowing when to use commas versus semicolons. Any tips?
Commas and semicolons serve different purposes. Commas are used for separating items in a list, after introductory elements, or to set off non-essential information. Semicolons link closely related independent clauses or separate items in a complex list. A good practice is to write sentences using both and compare their meanings. There are also many online resources and exercises specifically focused on punctuation that you might find useful.
I'll practice that. How about improving grammar in speaking? I often find myself making mistakes when I speak.
Speaking can be challenging because it requires quick thinking. One way to improve is to practice speaking slowly and deliberately, focusing on correct grammar. Record yourself speaking and listen for errors. Engage in conversations with native speakers and ask for feedback. Shadowing exercises, where you repeat what a native speaker says immediately after they say it, can also be very effective.
That sounds like a practical approach. What about using grammar books? Are there any you would recommend?
Absolutely, grammar books can be very helpful. Some classic recommendations include English Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy and The Elements of Style by Strunk and White. These books provide clear explanations and plenty of exercises. Supplement your study with online resources like the Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab for additional practice and explanations.
Thank you, Professor. These tips are really helpful. I'll start implementing them right away.
You're welcome, Simon. Remember, consistency is key. Regular practice and a curious mindset will significantly improve your grammar skills. Don't hesitate to ask for help whenever you need it. And one last piece of advice, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're a natural part of the learning process.
I appreciate that. Speaking of mistakes, what are some strategies for self-correction while writing?
Self-correction can be very effective. First, give yourself some distance from your writing before you review it. This can help you see errors more clearly. Reading your work aloud can highlight awkward sentences or incorrect grammar. Another strategy is to revise your work in stages. Focus on one aspect of grammar at a time, such as verb tense consistency or subject-verb agreement. Peer review can also be invaluable. Getting another perspective often reveals mistakes you might overlook.
That's useful. How can I build a strong foundation in grammar to support advanced language skills?
Building a strong foundation starts with mastering basic grammar rules and gradually advancing to more complex structures. Ensure you have a solid understanding of the 8 parts of speech and their functions. Practice regularly with exercises that challenge different aspects of grammar. Engaging with authentic materials, like books and articles, can help you see how grammar is used in real contexts. Additionally, writing regularly and seeking feedback can strengthen your skills.
What role does vocabulary play in improving grammar?
Vocabulary and grammar are closely linked. A broad vocabulary allows you to construct more varied and complex sentences. When learning new words, pay attention to their grammatical behavior, such as verb forms, noun countability, and adjective order. Practice using new vocabulary in sentences, ensuring you apply correct grammar rules. Contextual learning, where you see and use words in different scenarios, can reinforce both your vocabulary and grammar skills.
Should I focus more on writing or speaking to improve my grammar?
Both writing and speaking are crucial, but they serve different purposes. Writing allows you to think carefully about grammar rules and structure, providing a solid base. Speaking, on the other hand, helps you apply these rules spontaneously and develop fluency. Balancing both is ideal. For example, you could write essays or journal entries to refine your written grammar and participate in discussions or language exchange programs to improve your spoken grammar.
I've heard about grammar translation method and communicative approach. Which one is more effective for learning grammar?
Both methods have their merits. The grammar translation method focuses on translating sentences and learning grammar rules, which can provide a deep understanding of grammatical structures. However, it can be less engaging and practical. The communicative approach emphasizes using language in real-life contexts, promoting fluency and practical usage. It's often more engaging and helps learners apply grammar naturally. Ideally, a combination of both methods can be very effective. Understanding the rules through grammar translation and then applying them in communicative practice ensures a well-rounded grasp of grammar.
That's interesting. What about technology? Are there any apps or online resources you recommend for grammar practice?
Absolutely, technology can be a great aid. Apps like Grammarly, Duolingo, and Babbel offer interactive grammar exercises and instant feedback. Websites like Purdue OWL, Khan Academy, and BBC Learning English provide comprehensive grammar guides and exercises. For a more immersive experience, consider platforms like Italki or Tandem, where you can practice with native speakers and get personalized feedback. Consistent use of these resources can significantly enhance your grammar skills.
These resources sound promising. How can I track my progress in learning grammar?
Tracking progress is essential. Keep a journal or log where you note down the grammar rules you've learned and the mistakes you've corrected. Set specific goals like mastering a particular tense or reducing common errors, and regularly review your progress. Self-assessment quizzes and regular practice tests can help you gauge your improvement. Additionally, seeking feedback from teachers or language partners can provide insights into areas that need more focus.
I will definitely start a grammar journal. Lastly, how can I maintain my motivation while learning grammar, especially when it gets challenging?
Maintaining motivation can be challenging, but setting clear, achievable goals can help. Celebrate small victories, like mastering a difficult rule or successfully using a new structure. Incorporate grammar practice into activities you enjoy, whether it's reading, writing, or conversing with friends. Join study groups or language clubs for social support and shared learning experiences. Remind yourself of the reasons you're learning English and the progress you've made so far. Keep a positive mindset and be patient with yourself.
Thank you, Professor. This conversation has given me a lot of new strategies and motivation. I feel more confident about improving my grammar now.
I'm glad to hear that, Simon. Remember, learning grammar is a journey, and each step brings you closer to mastery. Keep practicing, stay curious, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need further assistance. You've got this.
In conclusion, the professor encourages Simon to maintain motivation, track his progress, and stay consistent with his practice. They emphasize the importance of understanding grammar rules and applying them in real-life contexts. Simon feels more confident and motivated to improve his grammar with the new strategies and resources provided. The conversation highlights the value of a comprehensive and engaging approach to learning grammar, combining theoretical knowledge with practical application and continuous practice.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.